Hey, what's up fellas? Winter's officially over, even though Mother Nature's not really cooperating, but season's going to start, and guess what time it is? It's gear bag time. Um, Fortunately this time I'm actually in time for this video. I know last year I was a little bit late. I think the gear bag was sometime in August or whatever, but anyway, I'm somewhat on time this year, so let's take a look. Now you may notice that I have a different gear bag this year. Not necessarily a new one, but this is because of my never-ending search for the perfect bag. There are many bags out there, and I've tried quite a few of them, and I still haven't found the bag that fits me. Many of them are great quality bags, the Eclipse bags, the Dye Navigators and whatnot, but they were either too big for my needs, you know, a lot of empty space, or just one big compartment. Me personally, I like it to have compartments, separate compartments for different things. I know it's not that important to some, but that's just something I've been searching for in a gear bag. And just right now, this is something that I recently picked up locally for a very good price. As you can see, this is an older type bag. This is a red paintball bag. It's still pretty roomy, but it has compartments, or the option to have compartments, as you'll see later. Now, as far as the gear bag, we'll start off with the soft gear. You'll find that many of them are still old from last year. I mean, they're holding up really well, so there's really no need to change it. Let's see, first off, I still have my Dye knee pads, which are holding up really well, comfortable, and no problems at all. Sometimes I even forget I have them on during the day. Over here I also have the elbow pads. Again, same thing. I use them sometimes, but when I'm using a padded jersey, I don't really use these. So these are definitely going to last me a really long time. Okay. Now, as far as the other soft gear, I have one of them here, which is an Eclipse jersey, but it is a warped Army jersey, which I picked up about, last year for a really good deal. I think it's more so a rec jersey because I don't have the thumb loops or anything like that, but it's definitely perfect for me for rec ball and even speed ball, because I have the padding on the arm pads and the shoulder, and is holding up quite well. Now, one thing that did change was my pants. I was able to get these Eclipse pants, which I am really liking. The quality, like many others have already said, it's very good. It's holding up really nicely. One thing that I really like about these pants are these elastic bands right here. Not just one, but two for pods, which is great for when I'm playing pump or playing, and taking it easy, and I don't really need to wear a pod pack. So I really like these pants mainly because of these loops for the pods. Other than that, great pants. Comfortable, roomy. As far as other soft gear, let's see. I have the same gloves basically. These are Eclipse gloves, fingerless, which are cut off a little bit right there, just to give me a little bit more freedom when I'm walking the trigger. So I use these too sometimes. As far as the head game, I either use a beanie, I have this head wrap, and a headband. So depending on the day, whether it's cold or a little bit warmer, this is what I'll be wearing just to protect the noggin, because those hits can hurt. Now, while I'm in this compartment, let's go on to the mask. Let's see. I'm still using the Dye i4. I have no problems with it. Definitely no issues with fogging. Yes, it is a little bit small. Sometimes, you know, your chin is exposed, but I've only been hit once with it, and I like the mask more than the risk of getting hit in the chin again. Like I said before, the lens has never really fogged up on me. It's very clear, breathable, light, and I have the option to mount my camera on both sides of the mask and still be able to get good footage. Now, while we're on the mask, let's get on to the camera. It's basically similar to last year, so I'll just quickly go over it. I'm still using the Drift. Then this is the Stealth 2. I have the mounting, quick release mounts right here. I'm not sure if I don't remember if I demonstrated this in the other video, but if you're looking to get the same thing, I have used Subaru, which is a moldable adhesive, in my previous video to use this time instead of crazy glue and permanent sticky tape. So far this is holding up really well. As you can see, it's definitely a lot cleaner. For this mask I decided to use black so it doesn't stand out as much as the white. As far as the camera, easy to mount. So sometimes in the video you'll see me change sides just so that people who are watching don't get to see the bunker instead of the action. And one thing I like about it is I can also set it in the field, run to it, put it back, and capture some, you know, other action on the field as well. So that's the mask for this year. I think I'm going to continue with the i4. I'm tempted to use other masks, but so far I think I'm still going to stick with this one, but who knows, maybe something better will be coming along. Now, as far as other essentials, you definitely need to get a couple of microfiber cloths so you don't have to depend on the refs to clean your mask and get sloppy seconds or thirds or whatnot. So you're basically guaranteed your own clean microfiber to clean off any hits to your lens or your gun, or especially the camera. Nobody wants to look at some dirty footage or blurry footage. These bags I'll explain later. I use it for dirty gear and put it in the bag just so I don't have to worry about cleaning the interior of the compartments. So once the hopper is dirty, once you know, I guess the tank cover is dirty, I put it in there, I put it in the bag, so I could just throw this in the laundry, get this clean as well, and not really have to get so much grime and oil in the bag and worry about cleaning that out, because I don't want to be bothered with that in the long run. Big laundry bag for the jersey and the pants when I need to get changed and put it in the car. So we'll put that back there. Now the other essentials. Of course, I have my small compartment of tools and batteries. I have AA's, 9-volt Allen keys, you know, a knife, some O-rings just in case I come up or I experience some trouble on the field. You know, it's always good to be prepared. And even with some people who have trouble with their markers, it's nice to be able to help them as well. Now the pod pack, same as last year again. This continues to be very comfortable and durable. I really like it because it is lightweight, especially when I am going to use it for 1 to 2 packs when I'm playing. It's very sturdy. I don't really feel it moving around. It's very pliable, as you can see, so it doesn't really dig into my bag because it's not as stiff, let's say for example compared to the NXC bags. And because I am using the slightly larger proto pods, this one has plenty of space to fit into the pack. With some of the packs that I've come in contact with, it does take a little bit more effort to slide it into the pack. So that's one of the reasons I'm using this die pack. And was it 2 years ago? These pods were actually free with the purchase of the pod pack. So definitely can't beat that. So hopefully they'll have a similar sale soon. For any of you out there willing to try another pod pack as well, I recommend these. Okay, next up is my hopper. I don't have the rotor anymore. I definitely had no problems with it. I just happened to decide to put it up for sale because it was just extra. So right now I am continuing to use the Spire. This is what I have right now. I have a different speed feed, so this one is a little bit better. The paint doesn't really sit on top. So right now I'm going to continue using the Spire, but like I said, the rotor was no problem at all. In fact, one of the reasons I decided to list it was just in case the R2s go down a little bit in price, and to be able to buy it used, I wouldn't mind trying that out or other types of loaders. But for now, I'm just going to use the Spire until something else comes along and I get a chance to try it out. The tank, again, same as usual. I have my Ninja tank stubby with a Pro V2 rag. You'll notice in some of the videos I mentioned some of the difficulty or additional effort in trying to engage the tank, and that's because of the Pro V2. But that's my tank. Another question that I get asked sometimes are the barrels that I like to use. Why I don't like to use the stock barrels. For one, I try not to use the stock barrels because I have the intent of reselling it, and it's definitely good to keep up with the resale value if the barrels are basically brand new or even unused. The other thing is I prefer these other barrels that I've been using because I find it to be better with sound. It definitely has a better way of dampening the sound, and one of them being the disruptive barrels. So I have this kit, and you'll see me use these sometimes, only because, you know, just personal preference. And I have a few tips that would hopefully closely match the marker that I'm using, but I'm definitely not close to trying out different barrels. I mean, I have some other barrels right here. One of them is still continues to be my favorite, the Lucky 15. Sometimes I'll use it. The only thing is I only have one of these, and it's a 685. So depending on the paint that I'm using, I might switch it up for the disruptor because I need a smaller bore, especially if I'm playing pump, or you know, it's hot and humid and I need something larger than a 685. But sometimes I'll use these. One thing that I wanted to try again is the Dial, but not just the 14-inch that comes with the M2. This one is the 16-inch that should add to the dampening of the sound, maybe making it a little bit quieter, and helps with aiming. So that's why I have this here. I'm going to try and use this a little bit, spend some time with it, and be able to compare it a little bit more before, I don't know, getting rid of it or getting rid of the others. So I really can't say if this is a keeper or not, but so far so good. I mean, this is a stock bore, 689. It's unmarked. 688? No, 688 bore. Here is another one that I decided to try and play around with. This is an old school Eclipse one-piece solo barrel. I've had this for a while and wasn't really getting used too much, so I decided to send it to TJD Customs to get it freak board. To be honest, I haven't really used it too much. Last year, I know I had it last year, but I didn't really use it too much. But hopefully this year, with more pump gameplay and maybe just experimentation with the other markers, I'm going to use the freak a little bit more. This one is similar. It does a really good job of dampening the sound, but not as much as the other barrels that I mentioned before. So I have those barrels. Let's see, now onto the guns. You saw this already. I was finally able to get one of these Nautilus bags once again. I saw this locally on Craigslist and I jumped on it. I had this before, I sold it, but once I saw it again, I kind of like the fact that I can use this to hold two guns and carry it with me. It was great. Before this, I don't know if you've heard this before, but I had been using, you know, cheaper alternatives. These are tablet, small laptop bags that I was able to get for $5 or less, either Five Below, I don't know, dollar stores, I guess. I know one of these, actually I got from Toys R Us at the clearance section. This was like $3. Definitely does its job. It's padded. Many of them have a microfiber lining, so it definitely will protect your markers, and it's very easy to store. The only thing is you don't have the compartments for two-piece barrels or inserts that you might need, but this is definitely a good alternative if you don't really want to use your stock marker cases or gun cases that you get. Now on to the Nautilus. Although it is good, I have to say that it's okay. I'm glad that I did get it, but it's a little bit tough to get the second marker in there, especially if it has the rubberized grips, and that's true for a lot of markers now. The M2, the Eclipse guns, the ones that have a rubber on the HPR on the handle, it's a little bit tough to like get it in there. But as far as other guns that are mostly aluminum and, you know, less tacky grips, this is my VX. This is something I'll be using from time to time. I'll continue to use. This continues to be very quiet than many markers out there and still quite smooth, so I'll never get rid of this one. But this one is pretty easy to get in and out. As far as my main marker, I will be using this M2. Great gun. If you've seen the other videos, I briefly talk about, you know, what I like about this M2, some of the things that, you know, personally I could do without or I didn't really prefer, but like many guns out there, especially at this price range, it's all preference, personal preference. They're all going to basically function the way it should. You have definitely bells and whistles, a little bit more than the mid-end markers, but any marker for the most part should function the way that you like. So that's it for the markers. Well, actually I lied. I forgot the pump. See, this is the difficulty I just mentioned. I just have to wiggle it to get in. Now, this one is what I had previously used for the pump. Sorry. It was just basically another laptop case, but I was finally able to get the new Eclipse XL bag, which is, as you can see, is a better fit for the pump. It's not as, I guess it is a little bit, it's very similar in size, but definitely has the compartments that I need. And basically it's still the same pump right here, the Dragon. So I'm gonna try to at least play with the pump a little bit, at least a few games each time, hopefully depending on the day, I guess. But back to the bag, I really like this bag for the fact that it has a section for many barrels, so you can either put your inserts in there, which I did, or your two-piece barrels if you wish to do that. And on the other side you have a flap for paperwork, O-rings, anything that you would like to bring, some parts or anything like that. Not to mention these little attachments to be able to do that. Well, I think that's it for the gear bag. I hope I didn't really miss anything other than shoes. I mean, just regular football cleats that I picked up. which I still have, and it's actually on its way out. So hopefully soon I'll be able to find another pair locally, whether it be Sports Authority or something, for pretty cheap. It's lasted me 2 years, maybe even more, but for the most part it's you know, nothing really to put on video. Nobody really wants to see some beat up, busted cleats anyway. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and like I said, I hope I didn't forget anything. Thank you for watching the gear bag video, and see you out there in the field.